All right, everybody. My name is Spencer Bass, and I'm basically here about to become your favorite credit and funding specialist, and about to get this thing started. Teach everybody about the little fundamentals of credit today. Again, my company name is Spiffy Original Solutions, and we're gonna get started today. I'm gonna hold you about 30, 35 minutes today, not too long, just to give you a little bit of information today. All right, so. Who am I and why should you be listening to me? Again, my name is Spencer Bass, and I'm just the guy that's turning my credit into a legacy tool. I'm not a banker, I'm not a guru. I'm just somebody in the current, right now, rebuilding my credit from bad and dealing with setbacks and all of that. But I'm in the process, of just getting that together and, rebuilding my credit so I'm able to do things that I want to do. Now I want to be able to help flip people who may have the similar situation that I have, or even better, just don't know everything about credit. I want to basically help them and give them the knowledge and the discipline and to help leverage the credit. I've studied how credit really works from the FICO formulas to the laws that protect us and turn that into a system that helps everyday people build freedom and generational wealth. Let's type freedom in the chat. Freedom in the chat. Today, I'm the founder of Spiffy Solutions, where we turn credit into capital and credit and capital into legacy. All right, so here on this slide here, if you can see that, on this slide, you can see my name on the bottom corner of each of these pictures. And you can see this is a couple of months ago. It has the dates up there too. So at the beginning of August, I started at 4:38. And again, I just told y'all I was going through it. I'm still going through it. But as you see on the second picture right across from it, I started working on my credit. And this is within 1 month. You see that date up there? It says September 5th. My scores almost jumped up 100 points on my TransUnion, Experience 70, and Equifax about 55. And then today I checked it again. As you see, they're all in the 500s now. So again, I'm not acting like a guru. I'm not acting like I'm better than nobody. Like I'm in the trenches with everybody. So I'm just showing you that. All right, so we just gonna keep it real. When I started this journey, as you saw, my credit was in the 430s. Most people give up. I was sending those letters in, they were stalling me out, but I just kept pushing because I knew that there's a better life for me on the other side of getting some better credit. Again, talking about my scores, and again, it's no magic tricks. It's not overnight. It's just strategy, consistency, and applying the same blueprint that I teach. So let's go over the history of credit and the bureaus. So credit scores haven't even been out that long. They've only been out since the 1950s. By the 70s, that's when they decided your fate with the lenders. And they came out with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Those are basically the three credit bureaus that hold all the power to your credit scores. But don't sleep on the secondary bureaus. I bet you didn't even know that. There's quite a few of them that the secondary bureaus like LexisNexis, SageStream, Check Systems, Clarity Services, and Innovis. They got your data too. And they're the ones that's feeding it to the big three. That's why sometimes things pop up even after you think they've cleared up on your report. Your your score, as the graph shows here, your credit score goes from 300 to 850. So you only have a window of about 550 points that you can get for your credit. So you want to make sure that you're doing whatever you can to get to maximize on that 550 points. Just a little side note too. I ask a lot of people, what's your credit score? How do you feel your credit is? And they usually, the usual answer I get is, oh, my credit's pretty good. And I say, okay, well, what's your credit? They'll say, between like a 550 and a 650. But if you look at this chart here in the orange, you'll see that, that's fair. We really want to get it to that yellow really to the green. So because once you get into that green, you're pretty much wide open to the banks and can do whatever you would like to do, basically, as far as like getting a house, car, starting a business, whatever it may have you. All right, so basically the credit system is a game, and you got to learn how to play that game. Here's how the system works. Credit isn't about luck, it's about playing the system rules. You have the primary bureaus, which we've stated, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. That's the big three. Then you got your secondary bureaus, LexisNexis, SageStream, Check System, Innovis, Clarity Services. Now, those secondary bureaus, that's basically where all of your information is going. And when you're getting your credit report or they're saying any type of information that's on your credit report, the big three are only getting that information from your secondary bureaus. Let's put secondary in the chat. Secondary. All right, then you got your data furnishers. Somebody tap furnishers in the chat. All right, so then we got furnishers. That's just like your banks, your lenders, your utilities, and even your landlords. And then, of course, you have you, which you have to be able to verify, correct, manage, and report as to what's wrong with your report. So you should always be at least every month you should be looking at your credit report to make sure that everything is right. I know they usually say about a year, but a lot can change in a year. So you want to make sure you're checking your credit every single month to make sure that you got things as to where you want it. And remember, control that data, and then you can control the outcome. All right, so the score breakdown. So the 550 points we spoke about. Again, this is how it's broken down. You got 35% that's payments. So the maximum amount of points that you can get is 192 points. So if you get in late payments or yeah, you're not making your or you're not even making your payments at all, that's going to drop that score a lot, and that's going to hurt your credit score a lot because it's such a big chunk out of your credit score. Next, you got 30%, which is your utilization. That's basically for your credit cards. Now that's saying, okay, you have a credit card for, we'll say for an example, we're gonna speak big numbers because that's what we're going for. So we're gonna say 10,000. You got a credit card for 10,000, but you by the time your statement comes out and it goes to the next cycle, you still got 9,000 on there. That means you're still using 90% of it. You want to stop that. You want to be able to pay it down and to either be have it paid all the way off, or if you're going to leave something on there, just leave 1 to 9% on there. The next thing is your credit age. That's 82 points. Um, and that's basically having all of your accounts saying, okay, your oldest account is 12 and your youngest account is, well, 12 years, and then your youngest account is 2 years. And then however many accounts you got in between, average those together, and now to give you your credit age. And again, that's 82 points. 10% is going to be your account mix, which is 55 points. So that's revolving and installment credit. So your revolving would be a credit card. Installment would be like your mortgage or your car payment, cell phone bill, anything like that. Again, that's 55%. I mean, I'm not saying 10%. My apologies, 10%. But you get 55 points out of that, out of your score from that. Um, the credit bureaus, well, when you go to get funding, they like to see that you have a mixture of revolving and installment credit. So they don't want to see you specifically have, 5 credit cards and then just a car, payment. They like to see that maybe you got a car, a house, and you got a few credit cards or, a cell phone. They just like to see a big mix so that it looks good for funding. But we'll get to that later. And then the last 10% is your inquiries, which is again 55 points that you can get for max for that. And that's basically when you're going out there and you're online and you're applying for credit and you're trying to get it and it shows up on your credit report. That's a hard inquiry. But we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, so we're gonna go over a few credit myths that people may get stuck on. So when it comes to a lot of people think that paying off collections boosts your score. In fact, Not necessarily. It only going to boost your score if you paid it off and then you told them that you want it deleted. Or basically, they're not even supposed to be contacting you anyway because they don't have the wet ink. They don't have the wet ink contract anyway, so they really shouldn't be even contacting you. The next one is checking your own credit lowers your score. Well, yeah, it can. That's if you trying to get, like if you're going to get a car and they running your credit like three, four times and you told them not to, that's going to hurt your score. But if you going to check your credit report and to see what your score is, that's not going to hurt it. Or if you going to a bank and trying to see just what you qualify for, then that's not going to hurt it either. Closing old accounts can help your score. Uh, if it's in good standing and you paid it off, it can actually hurt your score because of your credit age. Well, it can hurt your credit age, I should say, because if you had a car that you got in 2017, you paid it off, and it's showing on your credit report, of course, that it's closed because you paid it off. So that's giving you good credit history or, yeah, good credit age. Excuse me, good credit age. But then if you go and delete that and then you don't have anything that's closer to almost 8 years in credit age, then that's going to drop your score down a lot. So if you got a good credit score but a low credit age, it make it kind of tough for them to fund you. The next myth, you need to be debt free to have good credit. That is absolutely false. The system rewards smart use of credit, not absence of it. So it's better to be using credit. If you don't have it, just use it wisely. And if you have a good credit score, it's still good to use it because if you don't use it, then you just kind of hurting yourself in the end. You just wasting your credit score in a sense. Next slide. Why does a 700 credit score still gets denied? All right, so looking at this example over here, this 700 credit score, it looks good on paper because it says 700, but the profile tells another story. So we got payment history, that's 98%, but they have a late payment. So that's drop, even though it's at 90%, they're not getting that full maximum points that they can get because they have that late payment. Then they have the utilization, which is at 68% of total credit used. All right, so when it comes to the utilization, does anybody remember how much you should keep once you pay it off? If you pay it off, what's that magic range that you should have it in? Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. All right, it's 1 to 9% that you want to keep for your credit use. All right, then you see that credit age is a year and 9 months. That is extremely too young for you to have a 700 credit score and to think that you still probably get approved for some stuff, but it's just probably not going to be the large amount that you're looking for. As you see, they got too many inquiries, six recent within it doesn't say a time frame, but we'll say within, if you got, should think about getting a inquiry, maybe like one or two per quarter, maybe, maybe one a quarter. And then they got a derogatory, which might mean they have a collection account or something like that from 2022, and that's hurting their score also. So again, just because you have 700 doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to automatically be look so great to the banks on the back end. The profile is more important than the score. All right, so the next thing the thing we're gonna talk about is the fix. We're building a power profile that gets approvals. So again, we want to keep our utilization between 1 to 9%. Remember, that's that sweet spot. You don't want to 10, maybe 10%, maybe, but if you keep it between that 1 and 9%, it's going to look good on your credit report and to the banks whenever you go to try to get you some credit. Make sure that you're always paying on time because again, that 35%, you want to maximize that as much as you can. Again, things happen. Sometimes you may not be able to make that payment on time. So you should be able to call into that specific company and let them know, like, hey, I've been paying on time, or hey, I've ran into an issue. I'm making my payment. I made my payment. I'm just trying to see if you can take that late payment. Can you take it off of my credit history from reporting? They should be able to honor that for you. Um, Another thing that can help your credit profile is like if you're rebuilding or if you have a high score but you don't have really a strong profile, is you want to get a secured credit card and a secured loan. So basically, with a secured credit card, is you going into the bank and let's just say you go in there with $250. You give them the $250 and this is your card, but that's all the money that you got on there because you put it on there. That's all you have to use. So you want to use that, and let's just say use it for groceries or for gas or I don't know, for your Netflix or something every month. But you want to use it and pay it all off or get to that sweet spot, that 1 to 9% every single month. So then after 3 months, you can go back to the bank and say, hey, I have this secure credit card. I think I want to go ahead and to ask you, can you go ahead and make this a credit card? More than likely they are because they see that you've been making these payments on time and it's been in full or within that sweet spot of that 1 or 9%. With the credit builder loan, they're going to give you a loan, put it in your savings account. Now, with this loan, you want to basically take 90% of that loan. So let's just say if you got $1,000 credit builder loan, you want to take 900 of it that first month, pay it off. And then over the next 2 months, you just have $100 to pay left. So when it comes to the next couple of months, you want to go ahead, pay that 50 that second month, pay the 50 that third month. So now on your profile, it's going to show that you had $1,000 loan, credit, $1,000 loan that you paid off in 3 months, and that you paid a big bulk of it on the first month. So that's going to look good. And then with this play right here, that can boost your credit score um, up to potentially 88 points at one time. So that's a major, bump. If you let's just say you at like a 620 or a 650, that's putting you at 700, or that's putting you at 730, 740. That's 730, 740. That's a good range for you. Again, when you're trying to go get funding. You want to space out your applications and you don't want to do them more than 90 days. So again, that's applying for credit. Don't do more than one every 90 days, maybe two at the most. So again, that's one every 3 months. And then again, with your credit, let the time do work because it took us some time to get our credit to where it is now, whether it may be bad or it could be good, but it took some time. So you got to give it some time. If you know that you're trying to repair or you're trying to build, it's not going to come overnight. It's going to take some time. So allow that time. And just remember, you don't need perfect credit. You just need consistent credit behavior. So let's stay consistent, guys. All right, so here is some primary accounts to help build your credit. You might want to take a screenshot of this because, again, these are some things that you can apply for that can help to boost your credit score and to give you primary accounts. Oh, well, I'll go over that also. We have primary and authorized user accounts. So primary accounts, which would be these or anything that's in your name, that's a primary account. And then authorized user, that's anything as to where you know someone and they have a credit card and you ask them, hey, can I be an authorized user on your credit card? They say yes. The benefit of that is that you get their credit history and that can boost up your credit score. But on the downside, if they stop paying their credit card or anything like that, it can start reporting negative. That can affect your credit too. But the good thing about that is that you can say, hey, take me off as an authorized user. I don't want to do that no more. And then you won't have that account on your credit report anymore. So it's not hurting or helping you if their stuff is going down. But with these self seed 5 credit strong, these are like things where they're gonna show like a primary like a primary loan in a sense. And basically, you paying that off, and some of them they even kick it back to you and maybe give you a little bit of interest. But it's in your name, and you paying it off every month, and it builds. It gives you like maybe 7 to 15 points, a month. But again, it's a positive account on your credit. Now, most of the time with rent, they don't report to your credit report at all. But with these rent reporters, Rental Karma, rental, well, I got it twisted. Rental Karma and Rent Track, you can go to those. You can fill out the application, and they can call your your whoever is your rental property or whatever. They can call and verify, like, yes, this person has been paying their rent and they've been paying it on time for 2 years. I think they go back 2 years, but I think you can also go back a little bit further. But basically, with that, you calling them and you just created some positive history for your credit report by having them to say yes, they pay their rent on time. And again, it wasn't reporting before. Now you're getting some age to your profile, which is beefing it up to make it look good to the banks. As to, again, you want to go get that new car, you want to go get that new house, a motorcycle, whatever it may be. Or again, if you want to start a business, this helps you out too, especially if you never had a business before. Uh, and again, we talked about having, this is just a secured card. And again, with that secure card, you want to make sure that you're using it, making sure that you're paying off, paying it all off, or using that sweet spot, 1 to 9%, to get the balance down, and to make sure that it's reporting positively on your report. All right, so now we're going to speak about credit, which equals leverage, not just a score. So again, when your credit is strong, you can get, and again, with that 720 score and a strong profile, you can get 10,000, maybe even more, a personal fund. But then when you go to get that personal fund, you're going to, um, like, you have a brand new business, you can potentially get up to $50,000 in business funding. So you're not starting from ground zero. But that's because they're going to ask you for your personal guarantee, which is basically you saying, I'm responsible if anything goes wrong with this. So again, you want to do that with that. Like if you have a business from the ground, that's not to say you have to take all the 50,000, but that could be, 6 cars and all together that equal 50,000 and get your business off the ground, pay it back, and then now your business is getting some traction. And now the next time you go and ask for funding, you won't have to use your personal guarantee. You can just use the business credit. That 720 score is going to help you access 0% interest on your cards, or even lower. 780 is going to, well, let me pause right there. 720 is going to help you access to 0% in your credit cards. So again, you getting this all because you got that 720 good profile on the backside. You're gonna get you have a good chance of getting 0% interest for a year. So again, if you're trying to do something or you run into some trouble, you got you a credit card, you swipe it, and as long as you making that minimum, so let's just say it's $1,000 credit card, and you making that minimum payment of let's just say 1,000. I mean, sorry, $100. Long as you're making that minimum payment, you're going to get zero interest, and then you're able to still kind of catch up. Once you get your things money back right, you're able to catch up, get that card caught back up, and then your score is still going to look good, and then it's still going to look good as to you not having that interest. Is going to save you some money because again, if they charging you 10, 15% interest on $1,000, that's $150 that you can have in your pocket. And you want to try to keep as much money in your pocket as you can. With a 780, that's best to, get your best rates for a mortgage or even an auto loan. I mean, you can still do it maybe about a 750, but, try to reach for, but again, it's not all about the score. It's about making sure that your profile on the backside is really beefed up so that They are, so when the banks go to look at you, they not having no issues. They're just saying, okay, cool, we got you. We gonna give you this money. Your score isn't about bragging rights. It's about wealth building. Your credit is leverage. Protect it, build it, use it. Um, I just got one thing. Well, that's the end of our slides here, but I just got one thing that I thought about, or that I saw today, as I was on Instagram today. I saw a post today, and the gentleman, he said, a lot of us parents, we have kids, and we'll say, man, we'll go broke for our kids. And the holiday season coming up, Christmas time, saying I go broke for my kids, making sure that they have or whatever. But it's like, why you don't think, why won't I build wealth for my kids? Why won't I have good credit so I can pass it down to my kids? Like we gotta start changing our mindset and start talking to ourselves a certain type of way to know that how we're living life now, it doesn't have to be that way. Remember, it's 8.2 billion people on this earth. Maybe you letting your family influence you, maybe you letting your neighborhood influence you or your city. You got the option to move, or even if you can't move, just remember, don't stay focused on that small amount of people because even in your city, we'll say even the big city is, I don't know, 10 million people. But still, 10 million people is a drop in the bucket compared to 8.2. So don't worry about what everybody else got to say. Do what you got to do for you because that's the only way that you're going to get better anyway. Um, if you want to grab my legacy blueprint ebook bundle or work with me one on one to fix and build your credit, send me a message on social media. That's I got Instagram, Threads, Snapchat, what's the TikTok, and you can. My handle is Spiffy Original One on Facebook. I'm Spencer Bass. And y'all just hit me up, man. I appreciate y'all time. We'll be back at this next Thursday. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all stay spiffy. We got Junior. I tried to go into that thing. It said you had me waiting.